Welcome to the expanding world of personal computers. This video will explain and demonstrate the features of a unique AC-DC powered portable laptop, the IBM 8543 PS2 L40SX. The L40SX is compact. It's classified in the notebook category and weighs just under 8 pounds and can be easily carried from place to place. Its rechargeable battery makes it well suited to operate in airplanes, trains, cars, or any place that conforms to the L40SX humidity and temperature ranges. The L40SX supports a wide range of applications programs. Some of its distinctive high-performance characteristics are Intel 20 MHz 8386SX 32-bit microprocessor and a PCAT type bus. The L40SX also supports Video Graphics Array high-resolution liquid crystal display, 2 megabytes of memory expandable to 18 megabytes, 60 megabytes fixed disk, 3.5-inch 1.44 megabyte diskette drive, and 8485 key keyboard. Other accessories included with the L40SX are 17-key numeric keypad, rechargeable battery, AC adapter and power cord, reference diskette, quick reference book, reference summary. This shoulder strap carrying case is optional. The L40SX can be powered by an AC adapter, a rechargeable battery, or an optional car battery adapter. A fully charged battery will supply power for up to 3 hours, depending on the operations being performed or power-saving features which are part of the setup. The battery shipped with the L40SX is not initially charged, but you can charge it in 2 hours with the optional quick charger, or the built-in trickle charger will bring the battery to full charge in 10 to 12 hours, even while operating the computer. Now let's take a closer look at the L40SX and identify its control buttons, indicators, and connectors. On the back, to properly connect the adapter, we first plug the adapter into the computer. Then, plug the power cord into the adapter. And then, plug the adapter's power cord into the wall. And next to the adapter connector, we lower the door and we access a connector for the pointing device or the keypad. Now, this is where a mouse or a keypad would plug in. To use a numeric keypad and the mouse, you plug the numeric keypad in here, and then the mouse is plugged into the numeric keypad. The parallel connector is for a printer or a scanner signal cable. And the serial connector is where a serial device cable plugs in. It is fully programmable and supports asynchronous communications. This compartment is for the rechargeable battery. The serial number is also in this compartment. An external display can be plugged in here if you want to use an external PS2 display. If a PS2 display is used, the LCD is disabled. The system expansion connector offers an IBM personal computer AT-compatible interface. The communications interface connector is for the optional data fax modem. To raise the display, push in on the release buttons on each end and raise the display to the most comfortable angle for your viewing. The liquid crystal display has 640 by 480 video graphic array resolution and cold fluorescent side lighting with a 12:1 contrast ratio. Depending on the application, up to 32 grayscales can be addressed on the LCD. It displays 80 characters per line and 25 lines per screen. On the front unit, we see the contrast and brightness controls and the on-off switch. This is the system status display. The economy switch determines the processing speed of the computer. By using slower processing speeds, the computer uses less power and conserves the battery. There are two modes. In A, automatic mode, the computer varies its processing speed depending on how much activity occurs. This will conserve power. In manual mode, the computer operates at a fixed processing speed, specified on the Set Features option of the main menu. The system status display contains 11 icons to display the status of the computer. This carrier detect icon appears when the optional data fax modem detects a carrier. The speaker icon appears when either the system audio or low battery alarm options are set to off. It blinks until any key is pressed or any operation is performed by the mouse. The battery status appears to indicate the amount of charge remaining in the battery. The dew point, humidity, appears when excessive humidity is sensed. One long and one short beep can be heard when this icon appears. This icon blinks until the humidity returns to an acceptable range, which is between 8 and 95%. This icon blinks when an out-of-temperature condition is sensed. The operating range of the computer is between 10 and 35 degrees centigrade. That's between 50 and 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Power off when the temperature or humidity are out of range, and don't use the computer until the proper operating range is reached. Fixed disk drive in use appears when the drive is reading from or writing to the fixed disk. Diskette drive in use appears when the drive is reading from or writing data to a diskette. Numeric lock alternately turns on and off each time the num lock key is pressed. Numeric lock fixes the upshifted character selection on the data entry keyboard. Caps lock alternately turns on and off each time the caps lock key is pressed. Caps lock specifies a certain character set based on the keyboard language used. Scroll lock alternately turns on and off each time the scroll lock key is pressed. Suspend mode appears when the computer is entered suspend mode. This icon stays on as long as the computer is in suspend mode. The L40SX uses unique techniques to conserve battery power. For example, if the display is closed while operating the computer, it enters suspend mode and all the tasks are stopped to save power and their present states are stored in memory. It will beep to tell you the computer's in suspend mode. Later, when the display is opened, the computer returns to resume mode and resumes operation from the point where operations were interrupted when the clamshell was closed. This is the end of the video section on product description. Additional information on the L40SX buttons, indicators, and connectors can be found in your reference material. The model L40SX is designed so you can change its features to operate it in the most efficient manner. Usually, you don't need to change any of the features because of the default options set at the time of shipment. However, you may want to change some or all of the features to suit your needs. You may change and set them using the reference diskette, or you may store the Set Features program and the Control program on your fixed disk or diskette. To change features using the reference diskette, insert the reference diskette in the computer and turn it on. After a short wait, the IBM logo will appear on the screen. Press Enter and the main menu will appear. Set the contrast and brightness controls to your desired intensity. The main menu is similar to other PS2s. The first option is Back up the reference diskette. You can use this to make a copy of the original reference diskette onto another diskette, but not onto a fixed disk. To make the backup copy, you need a blank 2.0 megabyte capacity diskette. The second option is Set Configuration. This is used to view, change, backup, or restore the computer configuration, and to run automatic configuration. During configuration, the computer makes a list of what it sees as being installed and assigns those items to operate a certain way. Then this configuration information is stored in the computer memory and is kept current by the RTC battery even when the computer is turned off. Next, we have the Set Features option. We'll discuss it shortly. The fourth option is Set Passwords and Network Server Mode. This prevents the use of the computer by unauthorized persons. Next is Test the Computer. This tests the computer hardware. If a problem occurs during this testing, an error message appears showing the cause of the problem and the action to take. Display Revision Level shows the BIOS part number, date, model, and so forth. Back at the main menu, we'll select the Set Features option. It's essentially the same on the laptop as any other IBM PS2 system. However, the laptop has several features that can be used to help conserve battery power. Selecting Set Features again will take us to this screen. We'll use the cursor keys to walk through the features. We have the date and time. At Select Keyboard Speed, we can use the spacebar to move through the options. The spacebar will take us to fast, medium, or slow. To make a selection, we press Enter. When we select fast, the computer will use more energy to operate than if we use medium or slow. Other selections on this screen are keyboard click, system audio on or off, and low battery alarm. F8 will take you to the next screen. It has three time-dependent features. The display, fixed disk, and system power can all be set to turn off automatically to save power if they've not been used for a period of time. Time can be set from 0 to 20 minutes. Then, press Enter to save the changes. Other features on this screen are LCD display mode, display device, select speed, auto or manual, select power on or off for onboard parallel, onboard serial, and data fax modem. Here, the spacebar is used to select an option. For example, an LCD display mode can be selected by using the spacebar. To save an option, press Enter. Once these features are set, they will be maintained in CMOS. Now they can be changed through DOS batch files or through the use of the reference diskette. Going back to the main menu, we will press Ctrl-A and go into the diagnostic mode. This is a standard PS2 diagnostic screen. Selecting 0 will load the programs and display the installed devices. This ends the session on the features of the L40SX. The L40SX consists of major FRUs and optional features. In this section of the video, we'll point out the internal connectors and demonstrate the replacement of all the FRUs. Meet Sarah Fleming. Hi, Sarah. Sarah is a field systems support rep with IBM, and she'll help us demonstrate the proper removal procedures. As you can judge from the size of the laptop, the system board and all the FRUs are very compact, and care is needed to avoid damaging the FRUs, their cables, or their electrical connectors. But in spite of the compactness of the laptop, removal and replacement of the laptop FRUs is relatively simple. For example, the keyboard is a FRU, and it's held in place by just 3 screws that can be accessed through the bottom cover. To remove the keyboard, connect your ESD wrist strap, close the clamshell, disconnect power, and remove the rechargeable battery. Turn the unit over and pull off the 3 plugs located on the edge of the bottom keyboard cover. Then, remove the 3 screws. The best tool for this is a small Phillips screwdriver that's been magnetized. Hold the laptop firmly and turn it back over. Now, press the 2 release buttons to open the clamshell. Lift the front edge of the keyboard slightly, slide the keyboard forward, and flip the keyboard over so that the keys are face down. Now we need to unplug the 2 keyboard cables. Gently pull on the 2 keyboard cables to unplug them, and the keyboard is detached from the system. The keyboard cables just slide out of the connectors. To insert the cable, gently push the cable back into the connector. We must exercise care when pushing or pulling on the cables to avoid damaging the connector pins. The pins of the system board connector are designed to exert tension on the cable contacts, thus keeping them in place and forming the electrical contact. The next FRU to remove is the top cover. First, disconnect the 2 flexible cables from their connectors. You need to push out on the top part of the connector like this. And then remove the cable. Now, from the rear of the unit, remove the 3 screws that hold the top cover. Lift the top cover slightly and slide it toward the front of the machine. Be mindful of the flexible cables from the system status display to the system board as you remove the cover, for the cables are fragile. While we have the unit open, let's identify some of the internal parts. In the front is the speaker. Here's the temperature sensor, diskette drive, rechargeable battery compartment. The serial number is also in this compartment. And the standby battery. The standby battery provides power to the system when the main battery is being replaced. It ensures uninterrupted operation. However, the system will not power up if the standby battery is the only power source for the laptop. Here's the humidity sensor, the 60 megabyte fixed disk, data fax modem, and the real-time clock battery, referred to as the RTC battery. The RTC battery supplies power to CMOS to maintain its contents when the main power is turned off. The third fruit to remove is the display assembly. Use caution, for the display assembly contains a high-voltage power supply. To avoid electrical shock, make sure the computer is unplugged from all electrical outlets and remove the rechargeable battery before removing the display assembly. The display assembly includes a fluorescent light that contains a small amount of mercury. Dispose of the display assembly as required by IBM recycling program procedures as defined in the branch office manual. To remove the display assembly, place it in an upright position and remove the 4 mounting screws in the rear of the unit. Disconnect the display cables. And lift the display unit out. To remove the data fax modem, first remove the bezel, then remove the screw holding the adapter. Grasp the adapter near its connector to lift it out. Now we can see the 2 screws holding the hard drive. Before you remove the hard drive at a customer's account, be sure they've backed up their data. To remove the hard drive, remove the 2 screws and disconnect the 2 cables. When you remove the drive, note that it has slotted feet at the rear. When replacing the unit, these slots must fit into the grooves on these studs. The diskette drive is held in place by 2 screws. Again, you must remove the cables and be aware of the slotted feet on the bottom of the unit when you replace it. The last screw is the system board. It is held in place by 9 screws. Here is the suspend resume switch. Now we'll reassemble the system. First, the system board, diskette drive, hard drive, and RTC battery. Remember, when replacing the diskette and fixed drives, they both have slotted feet to slip into their studs as we replace them. Before replacing the top cover and the keyboard, we'll tell you about the options available on the L40SX. These internally installed options are not customer set up. The installation must be performed by an authorized IBM remarketer or customer engineer. The available options are the serial adapter, data fax modem, memory module kits, and the math coprocessor. The serial adapter is fully programmable. It supports asynchronous communications. It provides a second RS-232D interface for external communications. The optional serial adapter fits into the same slot as the optional data fax modem. The data fax modem is a dual function modem that operates as a data modem and as a facsimile modem. The data modem operates at a speed of up to 2400 bps in full duplex mode. The fax modem can be operated at a speed of up to 9600 bps in half duplex mode. Standard memory on the L40SX system board is 2 megabytes. Memory can be expanded to 18 megabytes. The math coprocessor enables the computer to perform high-speed arithmetic operations. Now remember, these components must be handled in a static-free environment, like the electronic components of any computer. The serial adapter fits here in the same slot as the data fax modem would. It is held in place by one screw. The optional memory module kits are available in 2, 4, or 8 megabytes. Note the 4 megabyte and 8 megabyte kits have modules on both sides. They can be added to the standard 2 megabytes on the system board by plugging them into these connectors in any combination except 2 4s. The math coprocessor plugs in here. The top cover requires some care when being replaced. Note that the top cover has 4 tabs on the front. The tabs fit into the slots here in front like this. Then the cover is tilted into place so the 3 tongues in the back are on the outside and align with the screw holes in the back panel. The cables are reconnected by lifting up on the back of the connector, inserting the cable, and pushing down and in on the back of the connector. To install the keyboard, slide the cables into the connectors, engage the rear of the keyboard in the groove of the top cover, then slide it toward the display until it fits into the base. Close the clamshell. Firmly grasp the unit and turn it over to insert the 3 screws in the bottom. Snap in the 3 caps to complete the installation of the keyboard. The L40SX has an international hardware warranty, allowing customers traveling to the U.S. to have their systems serviced. For example, customers who've purchased an L40SX in Germany or Japan or so forth can obtain warranty service in the U.S. All foreign language components, in other words, keyboard, numeric keypad, and so forth, are stocked in Mechanicsburg. The L40SX maintenance package contains the Hardware Maintenance Reference Manual, Hardware Maintenance Service Manual, and the reference diskette. They are part of the PS2 Service Information Package. As we've demonstrated, the L40SX is a powerful, lightweight laptop. And with Sarah's help, we've shown that removal and replacement procedures are simple.
But they do require some care.
Right. Well, this concludes the video presentation on the unique laptop, the IBM 8543 PS2 L40SX.